Hi, I'm Bob Ryan. This is Globe 10.0. With me today is Joe Sullivan. Well, Joe, we know what happened, and I guess now we have to ask the question, will there be repercussions? Will there be the finger pointed at someone, and if so, whom?
Well, it would be difficult to imagine that there won't be some consequences for this collapse. This is the most historic collapse in baseball history. Changes have to be made when something like that happens.
Well, let's be specific. All right, so with the general manager who brought in people at great expense that didn't perform. In some cases, other cases did. You can't say Gonzalez was a bad deal. But certainly, Carl Crawford was wretched, and John Lackey is so there's a lot of money going. Well, is he going to have to answer for this?
Well, look, the obvious change, Bob, and I'm sorry to be so obvious, is the manager. I mean, he didn't hold it together in September. And sometimes, look, Terry Francona has done a great job with the Red Sox. He won 2 World Championships. He seemed to be the perfect manager for this team. But sometimes the time runs out.
It does.
That the players stop hearing what the manager has to say. The style stops working, and a change is needed. And I think we may be looking at that.
Well, the last time we had anything happen at the wrenching end of a season, there was indeed a managerial change, 2003, and but that came very suddenly when people realized they can't bring this guy back because the public won't accept it and the media will kill the guy for one decision. But this is a different matter here.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, we wouldn't be having this discussion either, would we? No.
No.
And we weren't going to have it 3 weeks before the end of the 2003 season either, by the way. But we had it, and it happened, and it could happen. And I agree with you that there's a shelf life factor as well. By the way, might he decide, I don't want any more of this on my own volition?
Well, yeah, he could. I mean, this is not an easy job. This is like being the mayor of New York and the mayor of Boston.
I mean,
the criticism never stops.
The 2 worst jobs in baseball, hardest, are New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox, and there are 28 other jobs sooner or later, and any one of which will have less pressure and better on the stomach for a man whose health isn't that great, by the way, than these two. I'd keep my eye on him falling on the sword.
If I'm ownership, I think maybe it's time to try a tough guy as opposed to Mr. Nice Guy, because something needs to change.
But the fact is that the players were the 98% of the problem, okay, and the manager and the general manager can share the other 2% because they didn't perform. That the team was intact enough to at least make the playoffs. When you go 7-20 and you are uniformly awful in all 3 phases of the game, to borrow a phrase from another sport, you're the problem. But we know how it works, and someone's going to take the fall, whether it's Theo or Terry Francona or both.